you very much. And the catalyst is letting oxygen go free.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Iron Science Teacher. Let's hear it. My name is Julie Yu, and I'm a staff scientist and the director of the Teacher Institute here at the Exploratorium, and I'll be your host for today's show. We're here at the new Exploratorium on Pier 15 in San Francisco in the Phyllis Juarez webcast studio with an audience of wonderful Exploratorium visitors. Thanks for being here. We're also broadcasting live online to the world over the internet. So if you're watching us live, feel free to tweet us at Exploratorium and let us know what you think of the show. If you're in the audience, I think you can tweet us as well. Iron Science Teacher is based on the cult Japanese game show Iron Chef. Here we also have a secret ingredient, but instead of cooking it, we're going to have 5 of the greatest science teachers on Earth prepare a science or math activity that uses that secret ingredient. And then the audience here in the webcast studio has a very important job. You will determine the winner of Iron Science Teacher. You will vote for your favorite science or math activity by the strength of your applause. So are you guys ready for that task? Great. Today's participants are all attending the Summer Institute that we offer here for middle school and high school math and science teachers. The first contestant is taking the Middle School Institute. Let's hear it for Kevin McShane. Kevin, can you tell us where and what you teach?
I teach in New Hampshire, and I teach middle school science.
Great. Thanks for being here all the way from New Hampshire, Kevin. Next up, taking the High School Institute, we have Kate McGarry. Welcome, Kate. Kate, can you tell us where and what you teach?
Yeah, I teach physics, environmental science, and astronomy at Academy of Arts and Sciences High School here in San Francisco.
Local teacher Kate McGarry. Our third contestant is actually a pair of contestants. They are also taking the High School Institute. They are a duo composed of Alex McHale and Brian Wasserman.
Come over here.
Sure, I think you're okay. Alex and Brian, tell us where and what you teach.
I teach honors physics. Ooh.
Brian, where and what do you teach?
I teach physics and/or biology here in San Francisco.
Life science and physical science. That is a rare combination. Let's give it up for
true.
Brian. And Alex?
Should be okay now.
You're okay.
All right. Honors physics and AP physics at the Stanford Online High School.
Stanford Online High School. Alex and Brian, thanks for being here. And last up, also taking the Middle School Institute, we have Jacob Aringo. Give him a hand, everyone. Jacob, tell the folks where and what you teach.
I teach STEAM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math at Herbert Hoover Middle School.
Great. Give a round to all of our contestants. Again, the main component of Iron Science Teacher is the secret ingredient, which we have underneath this nice cloth. So contestants, gather round. I will confess that the ingredient is secret to you, but not necessarily to the contestants who need a little more time to prepare. But today's secret ingredient is things for lunch. We have sandwich bread, sodas, pickles, things to make things to make sandwiches, lettuce, mayo, etc. Hopefully, all these teachers can find something in there to do a science activity. Contestants, get ready, get set, go! Give them a hand, everyone, as they grab what they need to make their science activity in today's episode of Iron Science Teacher Battle Lunch. This is a very timely ingredient because it is just after noon here at the Exploratorium. So everyone here in the audience has lunch on our minds. All right, we're gonna go around and take a look at what each contestant is doing. We are over here. Jacob is hammering some dry ice. So dry ice, the solid form of carbon dioxide. Jacob has a giant block of it. Who knows what he's going to do with that? Dry ice isn't a typical lunch ingredient, but cabbage, red cabbage, is. And so Jacob is taking some cabbage, and instead of making a traditional coleslaw, he's going to prepare a shredded treat of a science activity for you. Jacob is also a boxing trainer, and so I will bet that his activity is going to be a knockout. Next up, we're looking at Kevin McShane, who has a balloon that he's putting over a bottle, Snapple ball. He also has some baby food because babies also are hungry at lunchtime, and he's pouring some water from a 2-liter bottle. No, I believe it's soda because it is fizzy. So Kevin's going to teach us a little bit about soda. Kevin, again, drove to the Teacher Institute here at the Exploratorium all the way from New Hampshire. And along the way, he did a bunch of hiking and camping because he loves the outdoors. We'll see if his adventurous outdoor spirit translates to the indoor adventure that is Iron Science Teacher. He's cutting off the top of a soda bottle. We'll wonder what Kevin has in store. Moving along, we have the duo of Alex and Brian. They have quickly, magically, popped some popcorn in the invisible microwave that is in the webcast studio, and they're distributing the popcorn into pouches. Brian is also putting some popcorn into a paper bag, some kernels, I guess. Brian has some young kids, and he is stapling together that paper bag. Alex mentioned that he teaches at Stanford Online High School, so he is a pro virtuoso at teaching to people online. We'll see if that also translates into the hands-on arena of Iron Science Teacher. Alex is now bribing the audience, trying to buy some votes by distributing a treat. And I have to say that this method has been effective before. Look at all those happy popcorn eaters. Next up, we have Kate McGarry, who is spreading some peanut butter on some bread. A nice lunchtime treat. Kate seems to have another sandwich there, so she kind of has an array of very typical lunchtime foods. I hope that Kate knows she needs to be making a science activity and not lunch, because that looks just fine for eating. Kate was an explainer here at the Exploratorium before she became a teacher, so let's give it up for the explainer program here at the Exploratorium. Yeah, those are our docents who help show people what's going on the floor. Kate is also a singer and a banjo player, so we will see if she has a pitch-perfect science demonstration for you today. Sorry. 5 minutes might not seem like enough to prepare a science activity, but in a typical school, teachers often get an entire 23 minutes to eat their lunch. So these teachers are definitely used to thinking about lunch in a short amount of time, but still, contestants, time is running out, so finish up. Put those finishing touches on your activities. We have some last-second sandwich cutting. Kevin's figuring out what to do with some ping pong balls that he has submerged in a 2-liter bottle of water. Jacob is he has a bunch of cups with some purple liquid that I think might be related to the cabbage he had earlier. All right, contestants, that's the end of your preparation period for Iron Science Teacher. There is always more time to give out free food. So contestants, I'm going to ask you to stop your prep and go along to the side, and we will make room for our very first demonstration, which will be by Kevin McShane, attending the Middle School Science Institute.
Okay.
Kevin, can I help you prep?
Mike's okay?
Yeah, you're up.
All right. Let's see here. Welcome, Exploratorium participants. And I'm here with soda, the perfect lunch food. It complements any meal just wonderfully. It's sugary, it's bubbly, it's delicious. When we think lunch, we think soda. And at the Exploratorium, when we think soda, we think science. So, I'm going to start off with a little story here. Story time. So you just got done with whatever it is at school or work, and you get a little lunch break. And you're like, oh man, I really want to go to the park. So you grab your lunch, and you take off running to the park. So we're running to the park, and we're going to get to the park at some point and sit down. That's not safe to sit on. And take a bite of the official Teacher Institute food, the bagel.
We fuel our teachers with bagels.
Okay, which makes things kind of hard to talk, but I'm also getting this sensation that I really need soda. Hey, any chance, Lori, could you open this for me? I mean, please. You actually don't have to if you don't. Ah! Please don't. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, we should actually just, for safety, for consistency purposes, we should make sure that everybody knows what happens if we open that. Has everybody seen this before? At least once, I hope. What do you think is going to happen if I open this? Yeah, what do you think?
Hold on one second.
It'll pop?
What do you think is going to happen?
It will pop up.
It will pop up.
It'll pop up like, it'll like, can you somebody describe a little more? How about over here?
What do you think is going to happen?
It'll explode with soda.
It'll explode the soda. So we might have seen this before, so we'll give it a little try and see what happens. No explosion. That's really strange. So, interesting. That's a try. So let's try this one more time and just see if we have any sort of, can I get 2 volunteers to just shake. Shake, shake, shake till your heart's content.
There is some vigorous shaking happening in the front row here.
Yeah, just keep that shaking going. We want to make sure that my demonstration doesn't flop like it just did there, which was exactly what happened, in case you were curious. Okay, let's see what we got here. Which one of these should we open? You want to pick? This one? I'm not going to have you open, just in case it actually doesn't flop this time. So we'll give it a go. Oh, okay. Oh, so we have a little bit of soda come shooting out. Anybody know why the soda comes out? Yeah.
For a long,
Tell us again why the soda comes out.
because when you shake it for a long time, the soda rises.
The soda rises. Any other ideas here?
Yeah, in the back here. What's your idea?
There's air trapped under it, which the air is trying to get out, which pushes some of the soda out.
Cool. Okay, well let's, so one of the things we do at the Exploratorium is we try and use models to see if, like, maybe that's what's going on. So during my Insta prep over there, I took some soda and I poured it into a Snapple bottle. And so you can see what's going on here. And you got this little balloon chilling out on top. And if we give the soda bottle a little shake, what happens? Yeah.
Air rises.
Well, yeah, something's coming up and in here. It's kind of cool because you can't see it come out of the bottle, but you put a balloon on and you kind of squeeze this. And if you give a little squeeze, you can feel like it's really full of something. Okay?
So the balloon helps us visualize that gas has been created.
So we can see that some sort of gas is coming out of the bottle. All right. Now, in this one, nothing's shot out. So we're going to take and we're going to up the ante a little bit, and we're going to play with a baby soda. Okay. Now, it's a really, thank you. It's a really bad idea to give babies soda. Okay? So don't do this. But playing with this the other day, I kind of saw some cool stuff. You can see, do you have a little camera? Oh, that guy. You can see around the edge of this and along the bottom, you can see little bubbles have formed. Okay? So when you shake that can and you shake it, you get these bubbles that form in the solution. They stick to little imperfections around the edge. All right? So if we think about that happening inside the can, And these bubbles have formed. They're taking up some space. So what do we think would happen if I shook the baby bottle? Let's give it a shake. Okay. And we just get some bubbles. Can you put your hand over the top of the baby bottle and tell me if you feel anything? Just go like that. Ready? I'm going to shake it. And can you open your hand and just tell me if you feel anything on the top? Is anything coming out?
Air.
Air, so that you can feel the air come out. Now, that's kind of a boring demonstration with just feeling the air come out. So air has this cool thing where air will actually move other stuff. So we need, hey, Teacher Institute participant. Can you shake the bottle and then tip the bottle towards my lovely Boyle's law graph? Just tip it, the baby bottle, and that's plenty. We don't want to make too much of a mess. And tip down like that. Oh, what's coming out of there? So anytime this is tipped, so the gas doesn't have an easy way out the little holes of the baby bottle, we can clearly see it squirting out. And the more we shake, the more that would push. Kind of cool. All right, so in order to get, okay, gotta do one last. So in order to get your soda not to do that, you gotta knock the bubbles to the top so they're not under the liquid like they were in the baby bottle. So you can shake this all day. Take it, flick it around the sides, knocking all those bubbles to the top, no problems.
Enjoy. No problems. Thanks.
All right.
Let's give Kevin a hand for telling us about gas in your soda can and how to keep I guess, Kevin's favorite lunch from exploding. Thank you, Kevin. Next up, we have from the High School Institute, Kate McGarry.
One more thing.
Kate has made me lunch.
Oh, Julie, you're not going to want to eat the sandwich. All right, so in my previous life, I used to be a geologist, and one of my favorite places is the Grand Canyon. Anyone here ever been to the Grand Canyon? All right, who's seen a picture of the Grand Canyon? That should be everyone, because there's one right there. All right, so first thing you notice about the Grand Canyon rocks. First thing you notice. I have a volunteer right here. First thing you notice.
Hold on 1 second. What do you notice?
There's some red rocks.
All right, there's some red rocks.
Yeah. It's like very bumpy.
Okay, it's red and bumpy. So we might say that when we look at this, we see that there's maybe there's some red rocks and some that are other colors, and it looks like they're laid out in layers. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to model geology of the Grand Canyon, which is really complicated, as a sandwich. So, because it turns out that if you want to find out how old some of these rocks are, any guesses as to how old they are?
How old are those rocks in the Grand Canyon? What's your guess?
Thousands.
Thousands of years old. Any other guesses?
Millions.
Thousands, millions. All right, well, we want to know just how old some of these rocks are. Now, some of them you can find the ages of them, and some of them you can't. But if we want to find the ages, we need to know a little bit more. So first, I'm going to make my sandwich look a little bit more like the Grand Canyon. So something that we notice is that there's a big hole in the ground. That big hole in the ground was made by the Colorado River. And it took a long time to make that, but it slowly carved out this huge canyon through the power of water. I'm going to do it really fast with my sandwich via the power of a knife. All right, so let's see if I can cut this and have it not fall apart. Okay. Oh, it's falling apart a little bit. That's okay. I held it together with toothpicks. Okay. So let's see what's inside this sandwich. And we're going to take a little trip. You can hike down into the Grand Canyon, and you can go from the bottom up. So we're just going to try to describe what's in here. And will that help a little bit? Yeah. Can I maybe get that up there so we can see what's inside here? Oh my gosh, there it is. It's a giant sandwich. And I'm going to draw. All right. Any ideas as to what this first layer is? Any ideas? I'll give a hint. What could that be? Raisin bread. All right, this is my favorite field food, is raisin bread, because it tastes bad even when it's stale. So I made a sandwich like I'd make on the last day of being out in the field for a while, that just like all the stuff I found in my cooler, all just like jammed together into a giant sandwich. Mmm, delicious. So maybe down here we have raisin bread. And raisin bread is nice and swirly. And we see all this stuff. Maybe it looks like it's been modified a little bit by heat and pressure, so we call that a metamorphic rock. And they've got some of those at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And then maybe we see some layers like this. Any guesses as to what's above the raisin bran there? Ham, turkey, I don't know, we might have to take a sample back to identify what it is. Sometimes geologists eat their rocks. Well, no, they lick them to find out what some of the minerals are. And we've got some turkey here, so I'll call this the turkey formation. All right, let's see what else we got in here. What's that? Tomato. Okay, so we got some tomato in here. I'm just gonna color code this so I can tell the difference between that and the turkey. And maybe I'll draw some swirls on my raisin bread. So we call this a cross section. If we really want to see what's in here, geologists will draw much more complicated things just to show what do you get when you walk from the bottom up, and they try to make it as accurate as possible. All right, and finally above that we have something green. What could that be? Lettuce. We got some lettuce in here. I'll draw that with some nice stripes. Mmm, this is looking really good. And then I have, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that brown sticky stuff in there? Oh, I need so much energy going on my hike to the bottom of the Grand Canyon that I decided to put some peanut butter in there too. Okay, so I put a peanut butter sandwich on top of my sandwich. All right, so I got bread.
It's a classic combination, peanut butter and turkey.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some peanut butter. It's chunky peanut butter. Look at all those rocks in there. Peanut butter. And more bread. And finally, if we look at this, I see some stuff in here. Oh, they fell out. I see some things in here that are vertical. Like, what's that? It's holding it all together. I got a toothpick, and that is weird because it's going up and down. Everything else looks like it's going side to side, but this one's going up and down. So I've got my toothpick here. Okay, so something that I want to do is I want to find out how old are some of these things, and can I get an age of these rocks? Are they thousands of years old, millions of years old? Were they made like 200 years ago? I don't know. So let's find out. Can I get the next slide? Here's what the Grand Canyon looks like. Does it look kind of like my sandwich diagram? All right, kind of similar. Maybe I see some wavy stuff at the bottom. This thing that looks called Vishnu. They got to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and they were so impressed by the rocks down there, they started naming them after ancient gods. All right, and then we got some nice layers, and we even have something vertical, like my toothpick. All right, so here's my geology sandwich. Next slide. Okay, so you don't need to read all this. These are what I call the laws of common sense. All right, law number one, if I have a rock that's got something else inside it, it means that the thing inside has to be older. So, which is older? This bread or the raisins? What came first, raisins or bread? Excellent, you guys have already gotten 1/3 of the way through your first class on geology. All right, next thing says, if I have one layer on top of another layer, the younger layer's on top. Which one is younger in here? My peanut butter sandwich, oh, I just gave a spoiler, or my raisin bread sandwich? Or which one is younger? We're looking for the one on top, so my peanut butter sandwich is the young one here. All right. And then finally, I have this thing. This is the most complicated one. If it says if something cuts across everything, it has to be younger than the stuff it's cutting through. So which one is youngest here? Is it my toothpick or is it the other layers? All right, my toothpick is the youngest one. So we can figure out now what's the oldest rock in here. Okay, so I know my toothpick cuts across everything else, so it has to be oldest or youngest? It's young. All right, now I'm going to go law of superposition. So I want to say from the top down, the ones on top are youngest. So I have my toothpick is the very youngest, and then the lettuce, and tomato, and turkey, and finally my raisin bread at the bottom. All right, and I have even in there, like if you look at the rocks at the very bottom of the Grand Canyon, they're all mashed up. It looks like there's even more layers in there, but they've been changed so much by heat and pressure that you can look, if you have to look at them really closely to find out what they are. All right, we just did this. We could do the same thing with our Grand Canyon thing. But I got a question. Let's go back to that picture of the Grand Canyon for a second. All right, so in here I have a nice, convenient canyon to help show me everything. It cuts through just like my knife. All right, what happens if you're coming along? Can you tell what's in here? All right, you cannot tell. So sometimes you have to have other ways. And so if you're looking for oil out at sea, there's not necessarily a nice canyon cutting through everything. Or if you come along to a flat thing, you can't really tell. So sometimes you might have to go in like this. I'm going to cheat a little bit, but they'll put something called a core sample in there. I want to see if this sandwich is better than my other one. I'm a little sketched out by that one. Oh, that didn't work very well. But here at the bottom, I can tell what's in there. Some peanut butter, some jam, some bread. That actually sounds like a better sandwich. I think I'm going to eat that one. But we still want to know how old are the rocks in here. So in this one, we decided this is the youngest. Usually, when we have a thing of geology, the ones that are vertical, these tend to be volcanic rocks. We can get an age on those. Geologists are very picky about what they date. So we can get a date on how old this is. So maybe we find out that this one is 40 million years old. Now some of these other things are hard to find out the age of. It's hard to tell how old sand is. There's not any minerals in there. You can find out a lot of the time how old they are, or they might have just eroded off something else. So we're going to look in here and find out if there's anything in here that we can date. And let's see if this works. I'm going to dig through here and maybe go in with my rock hammer. Don't do this in the Grand Canyon. It's a national park. All right. I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to start. I'll just take a little walk. Oh my gosh. What's this? What is that? Oh, it's marine fossils. I can find out how old those are. So I might say, oh, those ones are like, if this one's 40, these marine fossils in my peanut butter layer, those might be something like 45. So I can get a good age for my bread layer from that. All right. Oh, now comes the final test. Will I eat my last day in the field sandwich? Or should I eat that one? I'm going to eat this one.
Here we go. All right. A round of applause for Kate McGarry and the geology of a sandwich. How does it taste, Kate? Rockin'. Nice. Thanks so much, Kate. Kate, I don't know if you caught those two little bits of information about Kate, that she was once a geologist, and also that geologists are very picky about who they date. So just for you to keep in mind when you're thinking about Kate. Next up, we have from the High School Institute, Alex McHale. And where's your partner, Brian Wasserman?
I don't know. So
you're on.
Okay. He'll be here shortly, I'm sure. More popcorn? Eddie? You had some. The back people. Hands out. Ooh.
Big people eat popcorn too.
That's a hint, huh?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, actually, I wasn't even hinting.
You want to fix me?
I want popcorn.
Oh.
That's a pop headphone.
Brian. Popcorn?
Sure.
Brian.
Thank you. Here he is. Thank you.
Brian!
Oh, good. Where were you?
Wow, this place is huge.
Yeah.
And there is some amazing stuff here. Oh my God. So anyway, I did try calling you because I realized I was not going to make it.
Yeah.
And what happened? Well, there's Tiny. Did you forget your phone? Because usually, I call ahead, and I expected that we weren't up yet. I called you like 3 times. I was like, man, we're in a conversation. This is awesome. Learning about
All right.
Pendulums.
I left it in my lunchbox.
I have my assistant.
Sorry.
Well, what difference did that should have made?
I don't know.
I'll try calling you now.
So do you guys have lunchboxes? Yes. This is a lunchbox.
Holiday edition.
That's a nice lunchbox.
Okay,
now
my
it's
phone
working.
works now.
Huh.
So it didn't work when it was in the box.
I had to call at least 3 times. I'm like walking over here and people are like, you know, what's up with that guy? He's running, he's crashing into
Okay,
people.
so
Nothing.
audience, so we're physicists. So question for parents: how many of you have kids that play with the box instead of the gift?
Show of hands. People who have kids who like boxes more than gifts.
So when we found out we were doing lunch, we decided to talk about lunch boxes.
We decided to think of the box, neither inside it nor outside it.
Or outside. So, how many of you have lunch boxes like this? Metal ones? Nobody. How about like, you got some others? What other type of lunch boxes do you have if you don't have nice metal ones like mine? Yes.
What did your lunchbox look like?
It's like the one that guy has.
Like
One up there that
Brian
looks just
has?
like yours.
Oh, so like
Look,
this.
you guys are twinsies.
A
Who's my
little
twinsy?
cloth one. Okay, what other sorts of lunch boxes do you have?
Any other lunchboxes? Sure.
I have a paper bag lunchbox.
A paper bag
Paper
like
bag
that, okay? What others?
Yeah, let's pick it up.
Pick it up. How about this one? Something like that? Oh, where's my, my Harry Potter one. Oh, but that's a metal, so, okay. So,
All right, so we're...
being good researchers, go ahead.
I'm noticing a slide, and it's reminding me that we actually did something like this a while back.
She did something like this a while back.
Okay.
I
My
think.
lunch
And
would
I'm
never
reminded-
fit in a box this size.
It's very cute. You have your sandwiches in there? Okay. So what we found were the results that are up
cell
on
phone
the
fits.
screen to your right. And that essentially my Bionic Man lunchbox, which
Which
sadly
looks like
is
stuff.
now gone, but we have a comparable metal mailbox in the form of a Hogwarts Academy official Harry Potter mailbox. Very hard to come by. And the Mylar bag. These two were the only ones in which there was no cell phone signal able to penetrate the material of the box or bag or other enclosure. And our question to you is, why? Why would that happen? What is it that's special about, you know, the metal lunchbox or a Mylar bag? And I couldn't find a Mylar bag. Everyone knows what a Mylar balloon is. It's just a, you know, it's very thin material. It's got some
Oily-looking
kind of surface on it.
metal balloons, party balloons.
Okay.
Keep going.
So what is it about those
Yeah.
substances? Okay, happy birthday balloon. That that might be affecting
Eric,
a
this is
cell
from your
phone
birthday.
signal. What is a cell phone signal?
It's
How many
another
people here
bra.
feel like they could explain how cell phones work? How many
How
people
many
here
people in here
have a
have
cell
cell
phone?
phones?
I don't know.
All right.
It's yours.
Many of
No.
you have a cell phone. How many people here
None of
would
them.
be comfortable explaining how a cell phone works? Come on, get your hands up.
Nobody.
Wow. All right, let's move on to the next slide, shall we? Okay, so in order to understand cell phones, basically we need to recognize that a cell phone is just an elaborate radio. How many people here know what a radio is? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not going to ask you how radio works. It's the same principle, however. Essentially, we're talking about something called the electromagnetic spectrum, and we should, awesome, we should have a little thing come up on there now that shows the part of the electromagnetic spectrum we're talking about when we talk about cell phones. That is, we should have something come up on the screen. There we go. Maybe two more. There we go. So essentially, when we talk about, people hear the term bandwidth occasionally. Let's go back just a touch. We're talking about this section. It's where the size of the wave has a wavelength of about between a meter and a centimeter. And that's actually within what's called microwave radiation. We're going to move through the next one.
Very quickly.
Because we have a good way here in the Exploratorium to look at how energy travels through waves. Let's go back, please.
Nope.
So here we have somebody that may look familiar to you. And what he's doing is using the wave exhibit, not far from here, over yonder, to demonstrate that an oscillation, that is a vibration that he creates through a material that behaves as a medium, will in fact convey that energy to another position. In this case, through physical space, where at one end you have the same motion that you started with. In that case, it's actual physical matter that's being jostled or disturbed or vibrated or oscillated. And the fact that the metal bars are connected to each other allows that energy to propagate down to the other end. And in the same way, energy can propagate through space in a way where there's no physical matter at all. How's that?
Electromagnetic radiation.
Electromagnetic radiation?
Let's go.
That's a lot of words.
Okay, we're
What?
30 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay, so what we'll just say is that there's this phenomenon called electromagnetic field, where essentially those of you who've played with magnets or balloons where you've rubbed them against something and you've seen that static charge, you've seen that force. You've seen evidence that there's that force that exists that is electrical, electrostatic, or magnetic. And essentially throughout everywhere we go, throughout the universe, as far as we understand, this field exists. And we are able to generate a change in charge, and it travels through space just like this. Can we go ahead and make that work so it travels, moves? It's not looking the way it's supposed to, but that wave would be traveling through, and it's traveling through all of us all the time. There we go. Yeah. It's not looking the way it did in my screen, but I can show you later if you're interested. Let's get the third key objective up there.
No.
And
Time's up.
there we go. You fed everybody popcorn, right?
We got everybody popcorn.
Very good.
And
oh, there's popcorn here too. The old paper bag and staple method works quite nicely. Thank you very much.
All right, so let's give them a hand. Alex and Brian, we can wave goodbye now that we know about electromagnetic waves and how cell phones signals can be blocked in metallic containers. Last but not least, we have from the Middle School Institute, Jacob Aringo.
I might need help.
Sure.
Yeah. Get everything moving. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, a little bit. That's all right. I'll figure it out. All right, cool. All right. Ah, there you go. Yeah. Get your lemonade. 25 cents. Who wants lemonade? Who wants lemonade? Raise your hand.
Who has
Get that young
popcorn in
lady
their
come up
teeth?
here. 2 more people. Who wants lemonade? Come up here. Get some lemonade. 1 more person. All right. So you got 3 people. Where's the last person? No. 1 more person. Come up here. All right. So you all have 25 cents? Then you can't have lemonade. But I got something better. Better. It's not lemonade. It's called Explosive Punch. Guess how much it costs? Free. Right?
Free punch.
Okay, so I just tried this one out at home from all my kitchen ingredients. And what I want you all to do is just sip it, because it's going to give you a little jolt of energy. All right? Sip. All right? At the same time, when I count to 3.
Let's line up. Hold on
All right,
till
line
everyone
up.
gets their lemonade.
And if you all can look at their facial expressions to see the jolt.
And make sure everyone in the audience can see you sipping that lemonade.
Just sip.
All right,
Don't
you ready?
drink, sip.
1, 2, 3. Sip. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What an array
You
of
know,
treats.
I expected all thumbs up. Still, I don't accept that. Everything has to be thumbs up. Put those back right here. If y'all can sit down right here, because I'm going to call you three up again. All right?
Great, let's give our 3 tasters a round of applause.
So, how did that taste like? Well, what does this mean? Sour. It's sour? How about you? Sour? It's sour as well. There's a question I have, because I want to market this worldwide and make lots of money. But right now, I have 2 people that's like this. It's not doing that for me. So I have to find out a way to predict whether something is sour or not. Okay? So I went back to my kitchen. All right? And I found a couple sour items and a couple non-sour items. And back up here is my secret ingredient. Very expensive. It's called cabbage. You chop it up, you boil it, you extract the pigments, and you have this wonderful beverage. Oh. Refreshing.
Thumbs up from Jacob for the cabbage juice.
So what would happen if I placed cabbage juice? So we know that some of this might be sour, some of this might not be sour. So I want you all to see some patterns in the color of the cabbage juice to see which ones are sour or not. All right, so I'm going to go backwards. Exhibit number 5. What color does it turn? Ooh. What color is that? It's magenta. Get it
Here
right.
at the Exploratorium, we call that magenta.
What color is that? Magenta. One more time.
Whoa.
What color is that? You have to wait a little longer. Magenta. Almost there.
It is purpley and transitioning to magenta.
Yes. All right, let's see what we have. We have this color, this solution here.
Ooh.
Cyan. I like that. All right, and the last one. All right. It's kind of like violet, purpley. Do these two look like the same colors?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you what they are. Exhibit number 5 is citric acid. You can find citric acid in lemonade. This is acetic acid. Where can you find acetic acid at? Vinegar. This is dry ice. And when you mix dry ice in water, it creates carbonic acid. Same thing as club soda. You can drink it as well. Good stuff. Baking soda and water. So, which ones are sour? Which exhibit? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Which one?
3.
3. That's not too sour. That's not sour enough. Go ahead. 2.
2.
Jabe's going to verify whether that's sour or not.
That's not sour. Sorry. Yes. 5.
5.
Try this one out. It's sour. All right, last one. What's sour?
4.
4.
Guess about 4.
My favorite one, because I like to mix this with my Filipino dish, adobo.
Number 4 was acetic acid.
Vinegar. All right. So we already know that the acid solutions are going to turn red. But the question is, how do I neutralize the sourness so that my drink is less sour. And I tested this one out in my kitchen. What happens if I mix the citric acid and the baking soda together? Is it changing colors? Kind of. Let me get more baking soda in my kitchen.
We've made fizzy magenta cabbage citric acid soda.
Cold.
My
Where
favorite.
is my baking? There you go, baking soda. All right, so if I put a lot of baking soda in here.
1 minute, Jacob.
1 more minute? Okay.
Do you notice
All
the
right.
color changing?
Is there any color changing? A little pink. If I put more, it's going to eventually turn a little blue, like the baking soda solution. All right? So, I need those 3 taste testers to come up back here again.
Come back up here, tasters.
All right, and we're going to test the 3 things that we tested down here. We have Kool-Aid with citric acid, Kool-Aid with baking soda, and Kool-Aid with citric acid and baking soda. So, pick your drink. Tell me what you think. Sip.
Take a sip of one.
And tell
Make
me which
sure
one you
everyone
like.
can see what it looks on your face. Take a smaller sip if you're very scared. We have some very tentative looks here, Jacob. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
You have a winner.
All right, which one was a thumbs up? You got the one that says CB, which means citric acid and baking soda. It neutralizes sourness, creating that neutral taste. All right? You got the citric acid, you got the baking soda, which tastes hella nasty. All right? All right, great. All
So
right,
really the
thank
sweet
you.
spot is in between.
Last one?
Yeah,
Come on.
do it.
I like to end my class with an ending thought or notes. I don't know, something's in the back. All right? And what I have here in this bucket is something called vasodilator. All right? You separate those 2 words apart. Vasco or vascular means veins. Dilator means to grow. So I'm going to dilate something. All right? I'm going to put this on the floor. Put my hand in here. And so what should happen to my veins if I place it in the solution? It should get bigger. All right? So, right now you see it's slightly red, so meaning my veins are popping out. There's blood flowing to the ends of my skin. All right? All right. So I need someone to hold these 2. Are you ready? All right. This is kind of dirty. All right. Ready? I need a countdown. Starting from 5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Jacob, what happened?
Oh no, I'm bleeding. Just kidding.
Jacob is fine. No
I'm
teachers
fine.
were harmed in this episode.
Acid-base
of Iron
reaction
Science
right
Teacher.
there on this paper. Thank you, everybody.
All right, let's give a hand for Jacob and acids, bases, cabbage juice, and how the best soda is a neutral soda. So that's it. Those are all 4 presentations for this episode of Iron Science Teacher. I'm going to call all of the contestants back, and I'll remind you what they did as they come on. Remember, first up we had Kevin McShane, who showed us about the gas that's hidden in your soda. So when you're opening up that soda at lunchtime, there's some gas in there. Next up, we had Kate McGarry. You can cheer for them as they come on. Kate showed us how quickly the Grand Canyon could have been formed if we had only had a large enough knife, because she used a knife to show us the geology of a sandwich. Next up, we had Alex and Brian, who taught us about cell phone signals and how metal containers can block them. And finally, Jacob Aringo with acid and base chemistry and cabbage juice. So now you guys have a very important job. I'm going to pass my hand around each contestant, and by the strength of your applause, you are going to choose the winner of today's Iron Science Teacher. So I'm going to start down at this end, and let's hear it for Alex and Brian. Great. Let's hear it for Kate. Kate McGarry. Kevin McShane. And Jacob Aringo. I think it's clear the winner of today's Iron Science Teacher Battle Lunch is Jacob Aringo. Thanks everyone for coming. Stay tuned. You can come back next week where we will have the final Iron Science Teacher episode of the summer. But for today, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching us online. Enjoy the rest of your day at the Exploratorium. Great job. Nice. Oh.